Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katrina if you're new, and today I want to talk about 10 baby names that I love, but my husband won't let me use. So before I start this video, I do want to say this is not by any means a gender reveal. We do not know what we're having, so I am doing boys' names for this video. I will do a girls' name video in the future, and we have to think of both, so hopefully you enjoy both lists. So the first name is Zion. This name is becoming a little trendier, so maybe I would not pick it for that reason, but I do think it's a really cool name. It really could be used for a boy or a girl, but I definitely like it better for a boy. The next name is Tate. I really like the name Tate. I have no idea why. I just think it's a cool sounding name. It's short, but it's unique, and I think it would be a really cute boy's name. My husband, however, is not on the same page, so Tate is not a name that we will be using for our baby. So the next name I like is the name Everett. It's again a little unique. I think my hesitation with that would just be that there is a town that is not super close to here, but closer to where I grew up, called Everett, and I think that people would associate the name with that place. But I think it would still be a super cute name. I don't know what nicknames it would have. I don't think I like Ev or Rhett, or I don't know. So it would have to be like Everett as a whole, no short forms, which is always hard. You can't really stop people from having short forms or nicknames. So that maybe would be another drawback of the name, but I think the name Everett as a whole is a really nice choice for a boy's name. So the next name is the name Hudson. Now this again is becoming really popular, so I don't know if I would use the name just for that reason, but I do think Hudson is a really unique, interesting sounding name. It's just that it's growing in popularity quite quickly, so I don't know if I would use it for that reason, and my husband is again not on board, so Hudson is a name we won't be using, but I think is an awesome choice as a boy's name. I'm sorry if it's a little noisy. My little guy is playing with dominoes. You know, he had to pick the noisiest toy to play with while I was filming, but he's at least not attacking the camera, so hopefully you can ignore the noises and just listen to the list. So the next name that I really love is the name Edison. My hesitation with that name is just that I'm not a big fan of Ed or Eddie, but I like the name Edison as a whole. And so I think that I wouldn't name a child that because I wouldn't want the nicknames that go with it, but I really like the name Edison. I really love the name Silas. Again, it's a little more common, maybe not like popular, but people have heard of the name. But I just think that Silas is, again, a short name, but somewhat unique, and definitely a great choice as a boy's name. So the next name that I like is the name Kane. I think, again, the hesitation with that would be like Cain and Abel. People maybe don't like the name for that reason, but I do think that Kane is, again, a short name, which seems to be, for the most part, my style, though I have long names that I like too, so I don't know if that's really my style, but it seems to be my style, and I think that Kane is a really unique, cool-sounding name. Again, my husband's not on board, so it's not going to be a name that we'll use, but I really like the name Kane. So another name that I really like is the name Ezekiel. My hesitation would be maybe the nicknames as well as the spelling. I think people would struggle with that, or maybe even pronunciation on the name. But I do think Ezekiel is a really nice, unique name. But being a biblical name, I think it's not weird. It's still something people have maybe heard of, but is definitely a more unique name, and I think another really good option as a boy's name. I also think Malachi is a really good boy's name. I think part of the reason for this is I like the nickname Kai. I don't know if I would name a child just Kai. Nothing against it, but I feel like maybe it's a little bit too short. Says the girl who has a child named Levi with 4 letters, but I think Malachi would be a nice name to have as a full name, and then call the boy Kai for short. Again, another option that I like, my husband's not as on board for, but I do like the name Malachi for a boy. And the last name on my list is Cade. I think this name is a really nice name. But the drawback would be the fact that when the EN or AN ending was really popular, there was a lot of Cadens and Jaden and that sort of thing. And so I think a lot of people associate the name Cade with Caden. I'm not as big of a fan of Caden, but I like the name Cade on its own. I'd really love to know in the comments below which one of those names is your favorite and what's other names that you like. What would be a name that would be on your list for a boy that maybe you love but your husband is not on board for? I've always been a huge fan of names. When I was a kid, I used to read name books, and I would go through and name all of the toys I was playing with super unique names, and just loved doing that. I always just thought names were one of the most fun things out there. I will say that naming children is like a whole other ball game. There's so many names that I loved and thought, oh, I would name my kid that. But then when it really comes down to it and you're having a baby, there's so many other factors to consider. Like, what is the last name and how does the name sound with that last name? Or what will the initials be? Or is it a family name and is that somebody that you want to honor? Or is it a name of, you know, somebody that you don't like the connotation between the two? So these are all things that, I don't know, for me, I've had to take into consideration. Also now naming a second child, does the name sound good with Levi? So there's so many things to consider, and I think that when you're naming a child, it is way, way more difficult than just liking names in general. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, just give it a thumbs up so I know that this is content that you enjoy. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe and become part of the community here. It is totally free. You just need to hit that red subscribe button. And when you check your subscription feed, my videos will come up in that feed. So I will be doing a girls' names list of names that I love but my husband doesn't love. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!